Welcome to Beyond the Gates. We're here today at the Norman P. Murray Center in Mission Viejo to find out about a fabulous event. I'm here today with Mark Nix. Hi, Mark.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, you have a fabulous event coming up, right?
We certainly do.
And it's called,
It's called the Mission Viejo Barbecue Music Fest.
and it's a first time for
It's the
you?
first time we're hosting it here in Mission Viejo.
Wow, it's going to be fabulous. And what is your title with the group?
I'm the Director of Recreation and Community Services for the city.
Oh man, it's going to be so much fun. And so how did you come up with the idea and why?
Well, it's an idea that I've had in my back pocket for some time now, and it's an event that I helped put on in another agency I worked for, and this year just felt right. Everything came together.
Yes.
So we were looking for a new event to offer the community for a unique experience. We have found that individuals have enjoyed being outside for their events and, listening to music and stuff like that and good food. And so we thought maybe this is the year to try it.
And the title of it again is what?
It's the Mission Viejo Barbecue Music Fest.
Okay. So if people want to know about it, they can go online, right?
They can go online. It's the same name. The website's the same name. So it's mvbbqmusicfest.com.
Wow. And when does it start?
It's going to be the last weekend in July, July 25th through the 27th.
Okay, 3 days.
3 full days.
And tell us what kind of things will be happening.
Oh man, how much time do we have? There's going to be so much going on at this event. It's going to start with, of course, because it's a barbecue event, we're going to have a ton of barbecues and grillers from around the area that are excellent at cooking all kinds of meats. We are going to have carnival rides, carnival games. We'll have 2 different stages. We'll have a main stage and then a kids stage. We'll have a sports tent. We will also have a variety of artisans that are selling different things.
There are.
And I think I mentioned live music, but there's going to be quite a bit to see.
What kind?
Of music? We're going to have all kinds of tribute bands and some local bands coming out as well. I know Flash Pants is going to be there.
Karaoke?
Yes.
Right?
Oh, this is going to be super cool. So everybody knows karaoke, right? However, for our karaoke, we're going to have a live band performing behind the singers, which will be pretty unique, I think.
So they get on stage with a live band?
They'll select their song, and the band behind them will be performing all the music, and all they need to do is sing.
Wow, that is awesome. And lots of barbecuing going on,
Lots
right?
of barbecue. So again, we've got barbecuers coming from all over, and they're going to compete for the best barbecue.
You know what I love, and I know you have it there, is face painting. That's going to be so much fun, face painting.
Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff going on for the kids. So
You
of course,
tell us.
face painting. We have, of course, the carnival games and then the carnival rides. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we have that second stage, which is all geared towards kids. So one of the interesting elements that's going to be on that stage is the Critters showcase.
Children?
The children won't be showed. The animals will be showed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, got it.
So on that stage, we'll have somebody come out and they'll bring a variety of animals the kids will get to interact with, maybe pet, maybe just kind of look at and learn about. So that'll be kind of a cool feature.
And what are some of the animals there?
I'm guessing it's always different. Each time it's different, but I'm assuming there's going to be some reptiles, some snakes, some turtles, maybe some frogs, maybe a tarantula.
And is it donating or helping other causes or anything like that?
It is actually. So a portion of the proceeds are going to go back to help 3 different organizations.
Oh, okay.
So we have the Marine Adoption Committee, and then we also have the New Hart Middle School PTA, and then the city's effort in promoting sports tourism here in our efforts of trying to secure teams to come here and train for the Olympics.
Oh, that's awesome. And you do something special for the military, too, don't
Oh, I'm
you?
glad you asked. Yes.
Yeah.
So the city has an adopted Marine battalion.
Okay.
And while it's not limited to them, that was kind of our motivation to do something special for the military. So, excuse me. So something that we're doing unique for the military is it will be free admission for active military personnel and their families. So they'll be able to come and enjoy the event. They'll also have some discounts with like ride wristbands and things like that. And then I believe on Saturday, we're still working on the timing, that there will be an opportunity where we have a band that has created their own song as a tribute to military. So we'll invite military personnel up to the and veterans up to the dance floor, and they'll sing their song to
That's
them.
magnificent. That's so nice that you're doing that. That's
Mhm.
super nice. And so you have parking that's close by? How does the parking work?
Parking, yes. So there's closed parking. So
Uh-huh.
it is free general parking.
Okay.
However, as I mentioned, we do have some nonprofits that are going to benefit from this, and that's where they're going to raise their money. We have a preferred lot that is right in front of the main gate.
Beautiful.
It's $10 cash per
Mhm.
vehicle,
Mhm.
and all that money, 100% of that will go back to those
Oh,
organizations.
that is super nice. That's great. How many people you expect, do you think might be
Oh
coming?
man, it's hard to
Lot.
tell for a first time event.
Yeah.
However, we're hoping and we expect about 3,000 to 5,000 per day.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. That'd be awesome.
We're going to have plenty of food for them, so we hope they
Yeah.
come down.
Yeah.
You want to know what kind of food?
Yes, please.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so glad. I'm going to
Yeah.
start to salivate here a little
Okay,
bit.
yeah, me too.
We're going to have beef ribs,
Okay.
pork ribs, pulled pork, chicken, tri-tip. I mean, the list goes on and on. And then, of course, we'll have all the sides that go with barbecue, right? Great tasting sides. For those people that might not be into meat, we also have food options for them.
Nice.
And then, of course, you can't leave an event without having dessert. So we'll have a
Right.
variety of desserts for people to enjoy.
Oh, that's so magnificent.
Mhm.
So once again, the dates in July are,
They're going to be July 25th through 27th.
okay.
And then the hours each day fluctuate a little bit. So on Friday, it's going to be from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday will be noon to 10 p.m. And then Sunday, it will be noon to 8 p.m.
Oh.
Plus, you get a discount if you purchase your tickets and wristbands early online. There are also some VIP packages that we haven't
Oh.
talked about, which is
Oh, yes,
worth
please.
noting. So there will be the VIP packages include reserved seating, which is sometimes very nice to have when you go to a
Yes.
festival, so you're not sitting on the ground.
Yes.
And we have a partnership with Wild Fork, which is one of our local businesses, and they're doing a VIP sitting area as well, where they are actually preparing some of the food at the event.
Nice.
And I think that's going to be very unique.
Mark, thanks so much for this interview. I'm totally going. I'm bringing all my friends. We're going to have a lot of fun.
We'll see you there.
Absolutely. And now let's take it down to John in the studio. What you doing over there, John?
Welcome to Beyond the Gates. I'm John Peters, and I'm glad you joined us for this episode. It's dynamic, and we have one of the best options for you coming up. My friend across from me today is Jeremy Golden with Renaissance Theater Company. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Oh, we are delighted to have you. So tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in the Midwest in Nebraska, went to school in Texas, and once I got out here, I brought my degree, my theater degree with me, and decided I wasn't going to be a professional actor-director. I had gotten into education. I am a theater teacher. I currently am teach high school theater at Aliso Niguel High School. But I also knew that the acting, directing bug wasn't out of me, and so I started getting into community theater. I've done lots of things at different theaters around Southern California. But about 10, 12 years ago, my wife and I, Jennifer, we decided we wanted to start a theater of our own. We had a theater for a couple of years at our church, and we evolved that into what first became the Laguna Niguel Community Theater. That was in 2015. We started a nonprofit, so we are a registered nonprofit theater. And then probably 5 or 6 years ago, we rebranded ourselves as Renaissance Theater Company, primarily because we had moved beyond Laguna Niguel. We have been in community spaces in probably 4 or 5 different cities. But we established this theater to be a classics-based theater that can bring classic works of dramatic literature, plays and musicals, to a modern audience. And that's what we stand for and it's what we believe, and we're excited to be bringing more of it as we go.
Well, I've been on your website, and the concept of community comes through very clearly. What makes your productions different than someone else's production.
You know, but what we do and what we really believe in is the power of taking works of dramatic literature, classic works we call them, and bringing them to audiences today. We think they still have much to say. And when we say classics, that's not, it does include classical stuff, Shakespeare, Greek, you know, older stuff like that, but it also includes some things that are a little more modern, but that not all theaters will do. We'll do, you know, Arthur Miller and Tennessee Williams in the early 1900s, but we'll also do things that are a little newer, but call back to older things. Many years ago, we did the musical Into the Woods, which is based on those Grimm's fairy tales. But we love doing classic musicals too. We feel like the classic works, the things that have stayed around for a long time and are destined to stay around for a long time.
The things that you have coming up is Sound of Music.
Yes.
I'm sure many of our viewers have seen the Sound of Music.
Yes.
Either on television, maybe somewhere live. We've all are well aware of Julie Andrews, and I mean, I've watched that movie a couple times myself.
Yeah.
What makes yours different?
Well, we have a great fortune to currently be performing at the high school that I teach at, Aliso Niguel High School. So we've been doing that for a couple of years. We are without a permanent home, but for the last 2 years we've been performing there. And the space is, it's a really great performance space. Seats 300 people, 35-foot proscenium stage. So it's large enough to do bigger scale things. Last summer, we put on the classic musical Anything Goes. And we had a huge turnout for that. It was a great cast, just wonderful live music, and that's another thing that we are really committed to, live music. A lot of community theaters can't afford that or don't want to put their money toward that. We're a big believer in, you know, we want to have live instruments playing for it because it's a better experience for our audience. It's a better experience for our actors. And there's just nothing quite like going to the theater and having that live music playing with you.
Well, you're passionate about that, I can tell. I mean, it comes through loud and clear. Obviously, you have children in this production.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you went about interviewing and casting people? And
Sure. One of our, actually the first production we ever did with our company was Fiddler on the Roof, and we had some children in that. And then our next one was The Wizard of Oz, and we had a whole bunch. So we've been working with kids for a long time, and you know, as a theater educator myself, I'm a big believer in bringing live theater to a younger generation. But for these kids, we put it out there. We had auditions several weeks ago, and it was an incredible turnout. We knew it would be a large turnout, but we had almost 100 people come out. It was, and you know, quite a few of them kids.
it's a great opportunity for our viewers because, as you said, many of the older people have seen the movie on television. But it's kind of like listening to Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin from the 60s or that period of time. You hear it now and you hear different things. So coming to your production, you're highlighting things that maybe weren't highlighted in the movie. But more importantly, the children and grandchildren of our residents can come and find out what this whole issue of theater and concepts, and who knows, it may germinate in some of these folks and they may become one of your students or one of your protege, who knows?
How many of my students, of my peer adults have said to me, I remember the first time I went to a live theater performance. I remember it myself, sitting there in this, now I remember it as this huge space, but it probably wasn't as big as I thought, and just watching and going, what is this? I need to be part of this. And so I love that idea. You mentioned community. I love the idea of a parent, a grandparent taking kids, because this obviously is a show that that resonates to all ages.
And it's affordable, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we're not talking Las Vegas pricing here.
Well, and theater has gotten, the prices on theater, I mean, I went to New York not that long ago, and to be able to get a theater ticket for under a couple $100s is very difficult. So, we are mindful that everything is more expensive now, but we also have it in our mission to keep prices reasonable so people can bring their whole family. Our theater tickets for this show are $35. We give a discount for students and seniors, so to bring it down a few dollars. It's an affordable rate compared to most theater around.
Absolutely.
And the quality that we bring that's my favorite thing. When people come to see a show, they'll have expectations of community theater, and they come out of it going, that is not what I expected. That is so far above, because the talent is there. We are just finding it, harnessing it, and putting it up on our stage.
Before we pass this off,
Yeah.
You're looking for space.
Yes. Yeah.
Could you, in 30 seconds, tell me about what you're looking for and why
Sure.
it's so important?
Renaissance Theater has been a nomadic company for a decade now. We started off in a park space. We've gone to community spaces. We almost had a permanent space right before COVID hit. That kind of ruined things. We are renting space from the high school now. We are looking for a permanent home. And we are looking for a warehouse space, maybe 5,000 square feet, that we could call our home, that we could build into a 100-seat theater, so we're looking for that one donor, that sponsor, that benefactor that says, I like what you do, I want to support that, here's how we can help. And as a registered 501c3 nonprofit, tax deductible. So we're hoping we can find that partner to take us to the next generation of theater goers.
Well, I hope that you will find that donor, and maybe that donor is listening right now. You never know. Well, it's just been an absolute joy to have you here today. For those of you watching this at home, don't miss this opportunity. This is a great opportunity. It's priced right. You know a little bit about the story. Bring your children and your grandchildren. Tell your friends. It's local, and I will agree with you 100%. Live theater is the best. It just absolutely is. And we have lots of examples of it in the area.
Absolutely.
So keep this in mind, folks, and let's now go and see what Susan's up to.
I'm here today at the San Joaquin Wildlife Sanctuary. And today with me is Doug Lithgow, who's going to be filling us in on all things bird, duck, water related, and much, much more. Doug, it's a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you.
And this is such a beautiful location, and we're right near Back Bay, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can fill us in a little bit about some of the early history of this area.
Sure. The San Joaquin Wildlife Sanctuary prior to 1988 was actually a large duck hunting club or complex. And it was for many decades. And in fact, we still have a lodge here from the early days. And our duck club is a large place for the meeting room for the hunters. And in 1988, the city of Irvine decided it wasn't a good idea to have duck hunting or guns being fired in a populated area. We have UCI right next to us. We have a lot of residential areas. So they stopped giving out their permits to use this as a duck hunting club. And Irvine Ranch Water District expressed an interest in taking over this, purchasing this area and using it for purposes of filtering the water. And so that took a couple of years, and from 1988 on, This is the San Joaquin Wildlife Sanctuary, which has been owned and operated by Irvine Ranch Water District.
I see.
One of the things they do is we get the water for this marsh from the San Diego Creek, which runs right alongside of us.
Okay.
And so they divert water in through a series of ponds in this marsh. The water gets cleaned naturally, and then it goes back out into San Diego Creek, which travels down for maybe not quite a mile more until it empties out into Upper Newport Bay. And it goes into Upper Newport Bay cleaner than it was before, when you just have straight runoff going in there.
So let me understand. This is now this is not the water that we drink.
Right.
So where does this water go?
So IRWD operates a water plant here for water expressly for irrigation, which runs in the purple pipes you might see that goes on to sprinklers on the side of streets and that sort of thing. And that water is cleaned very carefully so that it probably is safe to drink, but it's not the tap water that comes out of your faucet.
There is a lot of wildlife around here. Audubon is headquartered here too. Talk about Audubon.
Yes, one of the great things when Irvine Ranch Water District took over this area and purchased it, they invited Sea and Sage Audubon to come and act sort of as docents. They allowed us to use the old bunkhouse for the hunters. They now renamed it the Audubon House, and that was our chapter headquarters for many years.
And now this is, excuse me.
Oh, sure.
This is the Sea and Sage House.
Well, we call it the Audubon House, but it's for Sea and Sage Audubon. Sea and Sage Audubon is a chapter of National Audubon.
I see. All right.
And so and part of our partnership with IRWD is that we do a lot of field trips here, we do bird walks, we do outreach to the public, we have children's classes here, summer camps. So we do a great deal of outreach here to the public to teach them about the marshlands, the birds, the wildlife that is here.
Oh, wonderful.
And in return, we get to use these facilities.
I see.
And they are very good to us. We're very happy to partner with IRWD.
Right. I understand. So the buildings that are on this actual compound, people can come here to go to the Sea and Sage building, the Audubon building, or the old duck hunting lodge.
Here, like you said, are the Audubon House, which is now a visitor center and actually a gift shop, bookstore for the general public to come anytime they like.
Okay.
The Duck Hunting Club, which is the large building, is open to the public. If you're an IRWD customer, you can actually reserve that for free for half a day to have events. And a lot of people have events there. And that also includes the building we're in right now, which is the only building one of the only buildings that was actually built here in 2008. It's a fairly brand new building.
Okay, I can see.
But it's used by Sea and Sage Audubon to give classes. And the room we're in right now is used by the Discovery Center. Have you ever seen the big black cube in Santa Ana?
Yes.
The Discovery. Well, they actually run classes here. And they call this the Discovery Room.
Who knew?
And so, again, it's IRWD's way of outreaching to the general public and having public programs to teach people about nature.
What a gift to the community. So much going on here.
Yes. Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about?
Sure. The sanctuary is open 365 days a year, every single day, sun up to sundown.
Okay.
And how you interpret dawn to dusk is up to you. I often come here right before sunrise, because I like to get an early start. And then if you're going to stay after dark, you have to let IRWD know. For example, if you rent out, I should say, if you reserve the Duck Club for a special event, then you let them know we'll be finished by 9 o'clock. And that way they know that there'll be people here after dark. Okay. And they do have a security team that goes around and checks the premises and all the buildings, make sure everything's safe and operational.
Understandable.
And so, and they do a really good job, and we work with them as well.
Good to know.
Right.
So now, Doug, it looks like we get to meet some of our favorite birds. What have we got going on here?
Well, this represents a pretty good cross-section of the birds that we have here at the wildlife sanctuary. It also is a lot of the birds that we show to our school kids who come over for our different school tours, and when we give demonstrations of the marsh, of the different birds that are here.
Got it.
I'll start from the right here.
All right.
We have a male reddy duck. A reddy duck is a common diving duck that we have in many of our ponds here. This one's in its breeding plumage with the blue bill.
And now tell me, is that really what its bill looks like?
Yes. In fact, this time of the year, June, in June, you can see these just like that,
And
with
that's
a bright blue bill.
only during mating season.
Right. And then in the winter, it becomes a duller gray.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Exactly. So that's our reddy duck.
Okay.
And we have that in most of our deeper water ponds because they like to dive underneath.
I
right?
see.
Right behind it is one of the largest birds here.
What a
It's
beauty.
Great blue heron. And you'll see this wading out in San Diego Creek, wading along the shores of a lot of our ponds. And this will eat not just mainly fish, but it also take lizards, small mice, gophers,
And
anything it finds.
it has quite a wingspan too, doesn't
does.
when
It's
you
a
see
very
them
large-
soaring over.
Yes, it has about a 6-foot wingspan.
That big.
Yes, it's one of the largest birds here. And it's pretty much the boss on the table right now.
I can see.
Right next to this, underneath, is a pair of American kestrels. It's one of our smallest falcons, and they love dragonflies. They'll catch dragonflies and win, but they'll also go after rodents. Right below that, we have our killdeer. It's a noisy little bird. It's a shorebird, and it likes to go around the shoreline of most of our ponds and the stream, and in the fields too. But they're very vocal. You can hear them from a long distance.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you to do a bird call.
No.
Okay.
I'm terrible at that.
Okay.
Okay, next to that, we have a pair of northern shovelers. These are dabbling ducks, whereas the ruddy duck likes to dive under the water.
Right.
These northern shovelers like to swim right along the top, and they'll eat food right off the surface of the water or just underneath.
And you can tell by the shape of their beak. I mean, they are like shovels.
Yes, exactly, hence the name. Right, and you have the male here and the female there.
Right.
Next to that, we have our black-necked stilt. This one's a little worn, and this one's a little bit faded. But again, another shorebird similar to the killdeer. It likes to go out along the shore, but it'll walk out into the water to pick things off the water, or in it, or along the shoreline. It's got the long bill. It's another one of the birds we teach the children who come here for our school tours. Okay, then to the right behind that, we have our double-crested cormorant. This is a very common bird in Southern California. We have quite a few of them here at the marsh, but you can also see them along the beach. This one likes to dive down into the water, catch fish, and come back up.
Oh, I'm just looking at those beautiful feathers. So beautiful.
Yes. And then last but not least is our American crow.
Oh, of course.
Crow you see in parking lots. They can be anywhere because they're generalists. They eat almost anything.
Right.
But they roost here at San Joaquin. And they will sometimes come here by the thousands at night to roost in the trees. And by the morning, they fly out to their assigned spots, wherever that might be.
What a sight that must be.
And they're also wonderful, trash collectors. You leave your food on the ground.
Crows. Yes.
They come down and they'll eat it
They
for
will.
you.
It's
Yeah,
amazing
exactly.
what they can do.
So this is just a small array of the
right.
birds that we have here at San Joaquin.
Now, do you have any four-footed critters around here?
Oh yes, we have raccoons, we have long-tailed weasels, we have coyotes, we have possums, and lots of different rodents, field mice and that sort of thing, right?
Well, this is just a fascinating place. I mean, it's overwhelming, all that you offer here, the birds, the ducks, the water, so much. And I thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for stopping by.